Hello and welcome back to our channel once again, people. Thanks a lot for making us a 1K family just under 3 months. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so now. The coming videos are going to be about the basics of DSLR photography, and we are going to cover them in 3 different videos separately. Today we are going to talk about shutter speed and how it works in the DSLR photography. So do watch this video right till the end to understand the fundamentals of shutter speed. Coming up. So the clicking sound that you hear when you take a shot from the camera is the sound of the shutter. Now how long the shutter remains open decides how much motion it's going to capture. So let us put it this way. Every photograph consists of 3 elements, which is the aperture, the shutter speed and ISO. All of these 3 put together make an image. Now if you see this particular photo, we have frozen the water droplet of the tennis ball using a higher shutter speed, making it look so dramatic. To make it very simple for you, shutter speed is responsible to freeze a moment or cause a blur, making it give a feel of a sense of movement. Let's move on from the theory part to a practical demonstration. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fill up some balloons with water and burst them with different shutter speed to see how different shutter speed affects a particular movement. And remember, we are going to use the high speed, which is the burst mode on your camera, so that we can capture the movement correctly. And yes, do not forget to shoot on RAW. Whenever you're shooting handheld, which in most of the cases we do, try and use a little higher shutter speed, because that will compensate for any kind of movement and will help you capture crisp image. Otherwise it can be blurry if you move your hand too much and the shutter speed is slower. And when you're capturing subject like a moving bird, they are very fast when they fly off, or anything that is related to sports, try and use these settings. One golden tip that I would like to give you here is the reciprocal rule, or the rule of reciprocal. It is very simple to understand. Now suppose you have a lens which is, say, like I'm using the 24-105 lens, and I have used a full zoom of 105 mm. I should ideally keep my shutter at 1:100 and above. The number of mm is the number of your shutter speed. So to give you another better example, suppose I'm using a 70-200 mm lens and I'm shooting at full 200 mm zoom. Ideally my shutter speed should be 1:200, because that compensates for any kind of jerk or move and avoid giving a blurry picture. And I would normally recommend that if you're using a 200 mm zoom, try and use a shutter speed more higher than 200, maybe 1:300 or 1:400, what is the nearest after 200. So that will help you give a nice stabilization and give you a nice crisp image. So this is called the rule of reciprocal in photography. Once we cover aperture and ISO in the upcoming video, that's when you'll have a complete control over your camera and use your camera to its full potential. Do send me any of your creative images. If you have shot using the shutter speed, you can also try the balloon burst, etc. that we did. Hope this video helps you understand the basic fundamentals of shutter speed and how it can be used in photography. In the next video, I'm going to talk about aperture and make it simpler for you to understand how aperture also works in photography. Till then, please do take good care of yourself, keep smiling and keep clicking.